Your grandmother's refrigerator from 1960 is probably still humming away in someone's garage right now. The avocado green Kenmore washer your parents bought in 1975 might have outlasted 3 marriages and still spins like new. But that $1,200 Samsung fridge you bought at Best Buy 3 years ago, the one with the touchscreen and the ice maker that speaks to your phone, it's already making that clicking sound. The ice maker stopped working 8 months in, and when you called for a repair quote, they told you the parts alone would run $450. Here's what nobody at Walmart or Costco wants you to know. That appliance sitting on the showroom floor with the shiny stainless finish and the Energy Star sticker is engineered to fail. Not eventually, not if you're unlucky. It's designed from the factory floor to die young. And the numbers don't lie. Refrigerators that used to run for 50 years now give up after 10. Washing machines that survived decades of family laundry now break down after 2,000 loads. Your money is buying you less life, less quality, and a whole lot more frustration than it did when your parents were shopping for their first home. We're talking about a quiet crisis that's costing American families billions of dollars a year. And it all comes down to a simple question. Did appliances actually get worse, or are we just imagining it? The hard evidence. Let's start with the data, because this isn't folklore. This is measurable decline. A 2025 study from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology tracked appliance lifespans across 7 decades. What they found should make you angry. Washing machine lifespans dropped 45% between the 1990s and today. That means a machine that used to last 19 years now quits after 10 to 11 years. Ovens showed a 39% decline, dropping from 23 years to just over 14 years. But here's where it gets worse. The J.D. Power 2025 U.S. and Appliance Reliability Study surveyed 12,755 appliance owners. They found that the average appliance experiences 69 problems per 100 units within the first 3 years. Front-load washers are the worst offenders at 89 problems per 100 units. That's almost 1 problem for every single washer sold. One repair technician from Nevada put it this way: appliances built in the 1970s lasted 30 to 50 years. Now we're seeing machines that need service within 2 to 3 years. And overall, they last 1/3 to 1/4 as long. The math is brutal. Where you used to get 40 years, you now get 10. Maybe. And before you think this is just about cheap brands or bottom-shelf models, think again. Consumer Reports analyzed over 71,534 refrigerators purchased between 2015 and 2025. Even among premium brands, the failure rates are staggering. Samsung refrigerators show a 33% failure rate within 5 years. That's 1 in 3. LG is at 30%. These aren't bargain basement machines from a discount store. These are $2,000 to $4,000 refrigerators from brands people trust. What changed? The plastic revolution. So what happened? Why did appliances go from bulletproof to disposable? The first culprit is materials. Walk up to any refrigerator from the 1950s and knock on it. That's solid steel, heavy gauge metal that could survive a nuclear winter. Now look at a modern appliance. The casing might be stainless steel on the outside, but inside? Plastic. Lots and lots of plastic. Metal components got swapped for plastic alternatives across the board. It's cheaper to manufacture, lighter to ship, and it breaks faster. Door seals used to be screwed into place with metal fasteners. Now they're glued on. When the adhesive fails, the seal pulls away from the fridge, warps in the humidity, and stops doing its job. Instead of a $15 screw-in replacement, you're looking at a $200 service call because the entire door assembly needs work. Water pressure sensors in washing machines used to be standalone parts you could replace for $60.
Now they're soldered directly onto the main circuit board, which costs $200 to replace. To fix a $60 part, you have to buy a $200 board, and the manufacturers know this. They've done the math. Most people, when quoted $200 for a repair on a machine they paid $600 for, will just buy a new one. Here's the kicker. Even the paint is designed to fail faster. Older appliances had smooth, flat surfaces that were easy to clean and resistant to rust. Modern appliances often have textured, eggshell-like finishes that trap moisture and dirt. In humid climates, this means rust. Rust means replacement. One appliance dealer in Hawaii reported seeing refrigerators rust out in just a few years because of these new textured finishes, compared to decades for older smooth painted models. The complexity trap. But it's not just about cheaper materials, it's about complexity. Your grandmother's washing machine had maybe 6 settings: hot, warm, cold, gentle, normal, heavy. It used a mechanical timer with physical cams and micro switches. When something broke, you could see it, hear it, and often fix it with a screwdriver and a $20 part from the hardware store. Today's washing machines are computers that happen to wash clothes. They have sensors for water level, dirt detection, load balancing, temperature control, and spin optimization. They connect to Wi-Fi. They send notifications to your phone. And according to J.D. Power's data, every one of those smart features makes the machine less reliable. Appliances with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity show 87 problems per 100 units, compared to 69 for regular appliances. If you actually use those smart features, the problem rate jumps to 92 per 100. One shopper from Michigan said, "Bought a GE washer with all the smart features for $950s. The Wi-Fi module failed after 14 months. Then the touch control panel went haywire. The repair tech told me the circuit board would cost $380, and I'd still have a washer that was fundamentally unreliable. I ended up buying a basic Whirlpool for $650, and it's been running for 5 years straight." Here's the thing about complexity. It gives you more ways to fail. A mechanical timer might fail once in 20 years. A digital control board? Industry data shows they're one of the top failure points, often within the first 5 years. And when they fail, they don't just stop working gradually. They brick the entire machine. A $5 electronic component fails, and your $200 refrigerator becomes a very expensive cabinet. The repair racket. Even when you want to fix your appliance, the system is designed to push you toward replacement. Parts availability is the first problem. Manufacturers change internal designs every 3 to 5 years. After that window, replacement parts often become unavailable or prohibitively expensive. One appliance repair shop owner in Nevada noted, "Some manufacturers restrict parts availability just in time for an appliance to become obsolete. It forces the consumer to buy new. When parts are available, the prices are astronomical. The same Samsung burner switch that failed due to a known design flaw? It used to cost $50 for a set. Now it's $100. Samsung has sold thousands of these replacement switches. They're clearly aware the part is defective, but instead of fixing the design, they doubled the price and kept selling the same faulty part. Labor costs have also skyrocketed. In 2026, appliance repair technicians charge between $50 and $125 per hour, with an average service call fee of $70 to $130 just to show up and diagnose the problem. A simple refrigerator thermostat replacement that should be a 30-minute job can run $150 to $200 total. A compressor replacement? You're looking at $500 to $800, which often exceeds 50% of what a new refrigerator costs. And here's the real kicker. Warranties are shorter than ever.
Most appliances come with just 1 to 2 years of coverage. Some manufacturers offer extended warranties on specific components, like compressors, but they don't cover labor. So when your LG refrigerator's compressor fails in year 8, the part might be covered under the 10-year warranty, but you're still paying $300 to $400 for someone to install it. At that point, you're facing the brutal calculation. Spend $400 to fix an 8-year-old appliance that might fail again next year, or spend $200 on a new one that at least won't break for another couple of years. One frustrated homeowner from Texas said, "My KitchenAid fridge died after 6 years. The compressor failed. They wanted $650 to fix it. I paid $2,800 for that refrigerator. I expected it to last at least 15 years like my parents' old Frigidaire did. Instead, I got 6 years and now I'm shopping again. But I don't trust any of these brands anymore." The environmental catastrophe. Let's talk about what this means beyond your wallet. Americans are replacing appliances at unprecedented rates. According to Euromonitor International, U.S. households spent 43% more on appliances in 2023 than in 2013, adjusted for inflation. That's not because appliances got more expensive. They actually got 12% cheaper. People are spending more because they're replacing them more often. Every failed refrigerator, every dead washing machine, every broken dishwasher becomes electronic waste. And we're generating more e-waste than ever before. The production of new appliances requires raw material extraction, energy-intensive manufacturing, and global shipping. When you have to replace a refrigerator every 10 years instead of every 30, you triple the environmental impact. Here's the irony. Modern appliances are marketed as green because they use less energy. A 1970s refrigerator might use 5 times more electricity than a new Energy Star model. That sounds great until you factor in the embodied energy cost of manufacturing. One study found that the embodied energy of a new refrigerator is only 20% of its life cycle cost, meaning you recover that manufacturing energy in just 1 year of operation by running a more efficient model. But that math only works if the new refrigerator actually lasts. When your Energy Star fridge dies after 8 years and you have to buy another one, you're not saving energy. You're consuming the embodied energy of 2 refrigerators while your grandparents would have still been using their first one. The environmental benefit evaporates when products fail prematurely. A consumer advocate in the appliance repair industry put it bluntly. We're creating a mountain of waste because manufacturers profit from products that fail. The whole system is backwards. We should be rewarding companies that build things to last, not companies that build things to break so you'll buy another one. Which brands are the worst? Not all brands are created equal when it comes to reliability. Let's name names. Samsung tops the list for refrigerators with a 33% failure rate within 5 years. Their French door models have been the subject of hundreds of Consumer Product Safety Commission complaints due to ice maker failures and temperature control problems that lead to spoiled food. One of their models, the RF28R735M1SR, has over 500 verified complaints. In 2022, Samsung announced a Sustainability Through Durability initiative and claimed their compressors would last 20 years. The same year, they were under federal investigation for reliability problems. The gap between marketing and reality couldn't be wider. LG comes in second at 30% failures within 5 years. Consumer Reports found that LG's French door, side-by-side, and built-in models are more likely to have compressor problems than most other brands. They developed an inverter compressor to address these issues and back it with a 10-year warranty. But here's the catch. The warranty covers the part, not the labor. you're still paying $300 to $400 to have it installed. KitchenAid, despite premium pricing between $2,500 and $4,000, shows a 28% failure rate within 5 years. The most common problems are electronic control boards and ice makers. One owner in Florida said, "I paid $300 for a KitchenAid because I thought I was buying quality. It lasted 4 years before the control board failed. The repair would have been $580. I felt like an idiot for spending that much." Maytag has seen reliability decline since being acquired by Whirlpool. Their failure rate now sits at 26% within 5 years, with bottom freezer models showing particular problems with door seals and temperature control. On the other end of the spectrum, Speed Queen tops the reliability charts. They're manufactured in the same Wisconsin factory that supplies commercial laundromats. Their machines are built for heavy industrial use, and it shows. Service rates under 10%. Miele, LG for non-refrigerator products, Bosch and GE Profile also perform well, with service rates in the single digits during the first year. But here's what's telling. Even the best modern brands don't match the longevity of appliances from the 1970s. A top-rated Bosch refrigerator might last 14 to 19 years. That's good by today's standards, but it's still less than half the 40 to 50 years that older Frigidaire, Kenmore, and Whirlpool models routinely achieved. Why manufacturers do this? Let's be clear about the economics. Planned obsolescence isn't a conspiracy theory, it's a documented business strategy. In the 1920s, a cartel of light bulb manufacturers formed the Phoebus Cartel and agreed to limit bulb lifespans to 1,000 hours. Before that agreement, bulbs lasted much longer. The cartel realized that if bulbs lasted too long, people wouldn't need to buy new ones as often. Sales would plummet, so they engineered failure. The same principle applies to appliances. If a manufacturer builds a washing machine that lasts 40 years, they only sell to you once every 40 years. If they build one that lasts 10 years, they sell to you 4 times in that same period. From a quarterly earnings perspective, the choice is obvious. Now, manufacturers would never admit to this publicly. They'll talk about consumer demand for features, cost pressures, competition, energy efficiency standards, and innovation. And those factors are real, but the core incentive structure hasn't changed. They make money when you buy appliances, not when you use them. One industry insider who requested anonymity said, "The engineering teams know exactly how to make these machines last 20 years. They've proven it with commercial models. But the business side won't approve those designs for consumer products because the margin calculations don't work. A machine that lasts twice as long has to be sold for more than twice the price to make the same profit over time. And consumers won't pay that. So they build to a price point and a target lifespan that maximizes replacement cycles. The market has consolidated dramatically over the past 30 years. A few massive conglomerates now own most appliance brands. Whirlpool owns Maytag, KitchenAid, JennAir, and Amana. Haier owns GE Appliances. Electrolux owns Frigidaire. When a handful of companies control the entire market, there's less competitive pressure to improve quality. They can all maintain similar, low standards without losing market share, because where else are you going to go? How to protect yourself. So what's a buyer to do? You can't stop buying appliances, but you can make smarter choices. First, resist the feature creep. Every smart feature, every touchscreen, every Wi-Fi module is another potential failure point. The data is clear. Simpler appliances last longer. One repair technician's advice: more features might be more glamorous, but fewer is usually better. A basic top-load washer with mechanical controls will outlast a front-load smart washer almost every time. Second, choose your brand carefully. Speed Queen, Bosch, Miele, and basic Whirlpool models have the best track records. Avoid Samsung and LG refrigerators despite their popularity. For refrigerators specifically, top freezer models are the most reliable configuration, with 40% lower failure rates than French door models. They're less sexy, but they work. Third, factor in repairability when you buy. Some brands make parts readily available and price them reasonably. Others make repair nearly impossible. Whirlpool, for example, ensures components are accessible and offers spare parts for at least 7 years. Ask about parts availability and repair costs before you buy, not after the machine breaks. Fourth, do the math on warranties and extended coverage. Most manufacturer warranties are worthless because they only cover 1 to 2 years, which is barely past the infant mortality period for electronics. Extended warranties from third parties can be worth it if they cover both parts and labor. But read the fine print. Many exclude the most common failure points. Fifth, maintain what you have. Clean refrigerator coils twice a year. Replace washing machine hoses every 5 years. Clean dryer vents regularly. Keep dishwasher filters clear. Simple maintenance can extend an appliance's life by years. One study found that appliances with proper maintenance last 25% longer on average than neglected ones. Finally, apply the 50% rule when something breaks. If the repair costs more than 50% of replacement cost, replace it. But do your homework first. Get multiple quotes. Parts prices vary wildly between authorized service centers and independent repair shops. And sometimes doing the repair yourself is feasible if you're even moderately handy. YouTube has tutorials for almost every common appliance repair, and the parts can often be ordered online for a fraction of what a service center charges. The bigger picture. Here's what really frustrates me about this whole situation. It didn't have to be this way. The technology exists to build appliances that last 30 years. The materials are available. The engineering knowledge is proven, but the economic incentives are all wrong. We've created a system that rewards companies for making things that break and punishes them for making things that last. Right to repair legislation is starting to change this in some states. These laws require manufacturers to make parts, tools, and repair information available to consumers and independent repair shops. It's a start. But we need more. We need longer mandatory warranties. We need standards for parts availability. We need transparency about expected lifespan. Most of all, we need to stop accepting this as normal. Your grandmother's refrigerator lasting 40 years wasn't a miracle. It was standard. The fact that modern appliances fail in a decade isn't progress. It's regression dressed up in stainless steel and sold with a touchscreen. Every time an appliance dies prematurely, it costs you money you didn't budget for, generates waste that fills landfills, and consumes resources to manufacture a replacement. Multiply that by millions of households, and you see the scale of the problem. We're in a cycle of waste and replacement that benefits manufacturers while costing consumers and the environment dearly. Final thoughts. The next time you're standing in Best Buy or walking through Costco looking at shiny new appliances with sleek designs and clever features, remember this: you're not buying what your parents bought. That Energy Star sticker doesn't guarantee reliability. That smart technology isn't making your life easier if the machine dies in 5 years. That premium price tag on a Samsung or LG doesn't mean premium longevity. You're buying into a system designed to fail you, literally, and the manufacturers are counting on you not knowing the difference between marketing claims and actual performance. But now you know. You know that washing machines used to last 19 years and now last 10. You know that refrigerators fail at rates of 30% within 5 years. You know that smart features make appliances less reliable, not more. You know that repair costs are designed to push you toward replacement. You know which brands to avoid and which might actually give you your money's worth. Armed with this information, you can make better choices. You can buy simpler models that will outlast complex ones. You can choose brands with proven track records over brands with slick advertising. You can maintain your appliances properly to extend their lives. And you can refuse to accept planned obsolescence as inevitable. Your money, your choice. Choose wisely. Outrow. So here's my question for you. What's your appliance horror story? Did your refrigerator die right after the warranty expired? Did you get stuck with a $500 repair quote on a 2-year-old washing machine? Drop your story in the comments. Let's build a record of what these manufacturers are really selling us. And if you want more honest reviews and buying advice that actually protects your wallet instead of padding corporate profits, hit that subscribe button. Because companies like Samsung and LG aren't going to tell you the truth about their failure rates. But I will. Thanks for watching. Stay skeptical. And remember, if it seems too good to be true, check the reliability data first.